breaking news that's shaking the entire Eastern Front. What we're seeing isn't just another military operation, it's the beginning of the end game. And it's happening faster than anyone expected. The territory bordering Russia faces two options. Both are catastrophic. Their army must either retreat, abandoning everything they've fought for, or face massive casualties trying to hold positions that are already compromised. The Swiss media just confirmed what we've been warning about for months. But here's what's really disturbing. While their generals are rushing between cities, trying to patch up a defense that's already falling apart, Moscow has launched a synchronized offensive from 3 directions: northeast, Sumy, south. The timing isn't random, and I'll tell you why in a moment. The signs were there, but no one wanted to see them. Europe has turned its back. America is stalling. And now Russian forces are moving forward, methodically and deliberately, cutting through defensive lines that took months to build. Here's the shocking part. While their president remains suspiciously silent, panic is spreading through the ranks. Their troops are reporting something entirely different from the official narrative. The reality on the ground? Complete strategic encirclement is becoming a real possibility. But there's more. Moscow just made a statement that changes everything. Where Russian soldiers step, that land becomes Russian. This isn't just rhetoric, it's a declaration of intent. And the timing of this statement, right as multiple offensives begin, tells us everything we need to know about what's coming next. The question isn't if, but when. Their leadership faces an impossible choice: save what's left of their army or maintain political face. But time is running out, and the next 48 hours will be crucial. Are you seeing unusual military movement in your region? Leave a comment below. This is developing faster than anyone predicted, and we need to track the real situation on the ground. The situation has reached a critical mass, and the consequences are spreading far beyond the conflict zone. Intelligence reports confirm what many analysts feared. This isn't just a regional clash anymore. It's a fundamental reshaping of the global order. Let's analyze what's really happening on the ground. General Syrski's frantic maneuvering betrays a deeper crisis. Western sources report over 500 intensive engagements in just the past week. But these aren't random skirmishes. They're part of a synchronized Russian summer campaign spanning 3 strategic directions simultaneously. The northern theater, particularly around Sumy, has become a pressure cooker. And here's what mainstream media won't tell you. Russia's newly formed northern group isn't just defensive. It's a springboard for future operations. They've reinforced Kharkov with an entire division, plus elite units from the Akhmat Brigade and the African Corps. These aren't ordinary troops. They're assault specialists trained for breakthrough operations. But the real story is happening behind the scenes. Europe has effectively checked out for summer vacation, while America's priorities have shifted dramatically with recent political changes. The flow of Western arms has dried up, particularly critical systems like aircraft and HIMARS ammunition. This isn't just about military hardware. It's about survival capacity. The former Western partner finds itself in an impossible position: retreat now and lose face, or hold on until autumn and risk losing everything. Their buffer zones are crumbling, and each passing day brings new strategic vulnerabilities. Russian forces aren't just responding anymore. They're dictating the tempo of operations. But here's what's keeping military planners awake at night. The next phase isn't just about territorial control. It's about fundamentally altering the balance of power in ways that will affect everyone watching this video. And what I'm about to reveal about China's unexpected role in this equation. The situation on the ground is intensifying as Russian forces establish positions in urban areas and fortified zones. Their presence signals preparation for an active breakthrough phase. While their current numbers don't yet enable a full-scale offensive, the mere threat is already pressuring command posts in the former Soviet Republic. Inside the conflict zone, the mood is shifting dramatically. High-level sources confirm 2 options under consideration. The first involves prolonged defense with minimal losses, hoping to stretch until autumn for renewed negotiations. The second contemplates an organized withdrawal. Both strategies carry significant risks. The former demands non-existent resources, while the latter could spell political catastrophe for the leadership. Resources in the disputed territory are rapidly depleting. Ammunition stockpiles are running critically low, especially for Western-supplied equipment. HIMARS systems, without shells, are becoming useless boxes. Air defense systems operate at their limits, while promised new aircraft, potential game-changers for air superiority, haven't arrived. Even the celebrated deep strikes into Russian territory, meant to demonstrate the strength of the politically turbulent area, have effectively ceased. They no longer achieve their intended impact, either in the information war or on the battlefield. Meanwhile, Russian commanders, including Gerasimov, gain strategic freedom. While the army of the country at a crossroads remains dispersed, Gerasimov, according to analysts, is reinforcing reserves in Donbass and forming strike forces near Kharkov. This enables potential flanking maneuvers while diverting attention elsewhere. The situation represents a critical turning point in the conflict's dynamics. The coming weeks may determine whether the northern Black Sea region can maintain its defensive positions or will be forced into strategic retreat. What do you think about the current events? Leave your answer in the comments. In the western regions of Russia, we observe intense fortification efforts by the neighboring state. Their military leadership is constructing defensive lines 20-30 kilometers behind current positions. Satellite imagery reveals extensive engineering works from the northern sectors to southern regions. Trenches, concrete barriers, and new supply points are being established. This systematic preparation suggests they're seriously considering a large-scale withdrawal scenario. Western analysts emphasize that the core challenge for the former Soviet Republic isn't tactical, but political. The crucial decisions aren't being made by General Syrskyi, but personally by Zelensky. He appears to be gambling on miraculous developments, renewed Western aid packages, forceful European responses, or a surge in moral support from allies. This political hesitation creates a dangerous disconnect between strategic necessity and battlefield reality. Meanwhile, the situation on the ground grows increasingly precarious. Russian forces are effectively utilizing bridgeheads near Sumy and Kharkov as springboards for advancement. Areas that once held strong defensive positions now stand vulnerable. The risk of cascade failure looms large. A single breakthrough could trigger a chain reaction, leaving forces in the disputed territory unable to maneuver, retreat, or regroup effectively. The military predicament facing the country at a crossroads didn't emerge overnight. It's the culmination of multiple strategic miscalculations over the past year. The persistent refusal to acknowledge battlefield realities while clinging to politically motivated decisions has created a perfect storm. Each day of delay in making tough choices compounds the risks for their military personnel. Russian forces continue methodically expanding their operational scope, applying pressure across multiple sectors. This systematic approach threatens to transform localized successes into broader strategic advantages, potentially reshaping the entire conflict dynamic. What do you think about Zelensky's decision to maintain current positions despite the growing risks? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's analyze this situation together. The summer 2023 counteroffensive by the former Soviet Republic marked a decisive turning point, revealing the war's new phase. The military command in the conflict zone had banked on aggressive operations, hoping to breach Russian defenses in the southern direction and seize initiative. Instead, their forces depleted their reserves without achieving promised results. Many decisions during this period were externally imposed. Western allies, particularly the Biden administration, pressured for offensive actions while promising support they later partially withdrew. This created a dangerous gap between political ambitions and military capabilities on the ground. As the offensive stalled, troop morale began to crumble while Russia steadily accumulated strength. The geopolitical landscape shifted dramatically amid leadership changes in Washington. Trump's ascendance signaled a departure from Biden's confrontational approach toward a more pragmatic stance. He openly advocates ending the conflict through negotiations, making no secret that aid to the politically turbulent area is no longer a priority. This fundamentally alters the balance of power, considering the United States served as the primary weapons supplier and political backer to the disputed territory between Russia and the West. While Europe remains preoccupied with internal crises, migration policies, and elections, Moscow methodically reinforces its positions. Russia has consistently demonstrated skill in exploiting strategic windows of opportunity. Currently, such a window has opened wide. The country at a crossroads faces diminishing support from its former allies, while its military capabilities have been significantly reduced following the failed counteroffensive. Moscow's systematic approach and patient strategy contrast sharply with the increasingly chaotic situation in the northern Black Sea region. Each passing week strengthens Russia's advantage as Western attention drifts to other global challenges. What do you think about the current events? Leave your answer in the comments. The situation continues to evolve dramatically as Western unity shows increasing signs of fracture. Russia methodically builds up reserves, repositions units, strengthens logistics networks, and intensifies pressure where it perceives weaknesses in the former Soviet republic's defenses. Their media strategy effectively demonstrates not just military superiority, but moral advantage as well. The disputed territory finds itself in a tragic paradox. Every move leads to losses. Retreat means political defeat, while holding positions results in devastating personnel and equipment losses. The population grows weary of endless mobilization, constant air raid alerts, and lack of meaningful progress. Internal resources of the country marked 404 are stretched to breaking point, while economic dependence on external aid makes any strategic decision extremely risky. But there's another crucial dimension to consider. Based on statements from Russian officials, Moscow views the current situation as an opportunity to fundamentally reshape the regional security architecture. Their objective extends beyond military pressure. It's about proving to the West that containment strategies are ineffective. In this context, potential offensive operations near Kharkov or Sumy should be viewed as pieces of a larger geopolitical puzzle aimed at establishing new spheres of influence. Several analysts suggest that the coming months will bring not just continued military operations, but preparation for eventual negotiations against the backdrop of new territorial realities. Russia is systematically creating zones of effective control that could later serve as established facts during diplomatic discussions. The politically turbulent area faces diminishing options as its Western partners show signs of support fatigue, while Russia maintains strategic initiative and momentum. What do you think about the current situation? Leave your point of view in the comments. I'm always interested in hearing thoughtful analysis from my viewers. The current situation presents a classic dilemma of military strategy transforming into political outcomes, reminiscent of past conflicts. However, the reality on the ground is more complex than simple calculations might suggest. While Russia demonstrates growing confidence, some analysts warn against overestimating capabilities. Creating bridgeheads doesn't automatically guarantee breakthrough success. Such operations demand robust logistics, sustained support, and swift achievement of objectives. The former Western partners' strategy appears focused on survival until autumn. Their leadership hopes the approaching cold weather will freeze the situation, potentially awakening Western capitals from their current hesitation. However, if Russian forces achieve a significant breakthrough before then, such calculations become meaningless. This creates an increasingly sharp dilemma for the leadership in the disputed territory. They must choose between risking unpopular decisions now or maintaining defensive positions while knowing the outcome might already be sealed. The stakes extend beyond immediate military concerns. Even if the front stabilizes, the political capital of the current administration faces serious erosion. Internal friction is already emerging. Some military commanders openly question the wisdom of current tactics, but lack authority to influence strategic direction. The region of instability faces its greatest challenge not just in holding territory, but in maintaining trust across three critical dimensions: domestic support, international backing, and military confidence. Each passing day without decisive action compounds these pressures. Leadership in the politically turbulent area must balance immediate military necessities against long-term political sustainability. The situation increasingly resembles a complex chess game, where every move carries both tactical and strategic implications. What's particularly concerning for the country at a crossroads is the erosion of unity. Previous certainties about strategic direction are giving way to growing debates about alternatives, creating potential vulnerabilities that could be exploited. What do you think about the current situation? Leave your thoughts in the comments. I'm particularly interested in your views on how this might develop in the coming months. The military situation near Kharkov and Sumy regions further complicates any chance of positive developments for the former Soviet Republic. As Western partners avert their eyes at this critical moment and stop hearing Kiev's pleas, we must ask ourselves, is this fatigue, cold calculation, or recognition that they backed the wrong player? The country marked 404 faces a choice that will determine not just the conflict's outcome, but its very future. Prolonging defense amid dwindling resources and absence of aid is becoming a strategic trap, with escape routes narrowing daily. Russian forces are conducting coordinated operations across multiple directions, establishing bridgeheads and implementing both military and psychological pressure mechanisms. The West, preoccupied with internal issues and shifting political priorities, has retreated to mere diplomatic statements. In these circumstances, Zelensky confronts his most challenging dilemma since the conflict began. He must either save face and continue fighting at a tremendous cost, or order a withdrawal to preserve the army for future defense. Meanwhile, Russia strengthens its positions and acts decisively, capitalizing on the opponent's maximum vulnerability. As Kiev hesitates, Moscow makes its moves. Each day of delay risks becoming a point of no return. The disputed territory between Russia and the West finds itself increasingly isolated, with critical decisions hanging in the balance. Western support continues to fade while Russian military momentum builds, creating an increasingly precarious situation for the politically turbulent area. The stakes couldn't be higher for this former fraternal ally, as strategic choices made now will echo far into the future. Every passing hour diminishes available options while raising the cost of indecision. What would you do in Zelensky's position? Order a retreat, or continue fighting despite the losses? Leave your point of view in the comments. I believe my viewers are thoughtful and smart. I want to hear your